And thanks, Gilfus, for letting me present, actually our vision and a little bit about my company. Personalized learning. We're a little bit background. We're a Dutch company based in Rotterdam, overlooking the biggest port of Europe. And to start off with a personal note, and that's actually the seed of the company. I'm dyslexic. So I have a problem visualizing words. Because of that, it took me a little bit longer to finish my economic studies in Rotterdam, Erasmus University. And while doing that, we thought, we could motivate it to start a company and to use the new internet technology to really help people with their learning. That's aNewSpring. Currently in the Netherlands, we provide over for 200 training providers. We provide learning technology, and they can create and deliver courses with our platform. A question for you: are your learners all the same? No, no. So yeah. So this is the question we were asking ourselves for some time. So how come courses are still most of the time one size fits all? And that's even stranger because we are in the time where it's all about you, and personalization and personal services is something which is more common. Actually, it's the norm. Or there will be tools like Genius, where you can get advice on your music. Or in web shops like Amazon, you get personal advice on which books might be interesting for you. So we were wondering whether this technology, which is behind all these personalized services, if we could put that into a learning platform. And imagine what that would do with the experience of your learners. More engagement, more commitment, personalized service. Because of course they're all different. They have different backgrounds, different levels of knowledge. They have different learning styles even. And the good thing with e-learning, actually, from my point of view, the core of e-learning is measuring. So we are measuring, and we were doing that in the learning systems. But now we have more cloud-based systems, and aNewSpring is a cloud-based system, so we can combine all these data, and we can start data mining that and profiling our learners, starting to learn from their progress and their knowledge levels. And if we use that and we build some nice algorithms within the platform, some technology we build in, we can really start to deliver training on a personal level. So we are currently doing that. Currently in two ways. We have a personalized retention training scheme, and we have a personalized learning path. So I'll get into both of them. Retention. Unfortunately, within 24 hours you have forgotten 80% of what I just told you. So I'll hand you out some web address so you can read something more about our vision. But it's the truth, and it's like they say, the elephant in the room for trainers. It's the truth, but how do you cope with that? So we developed what we call the memo trading. This is actually my experience, and there used to be a little bit of a hill over here, doing my exams on the Erasmus University. So I would start enthusiastic, I would forget most, I would really start running before the exam, put a lot of knowledge into my short-term memory, and again after that I would traditionally I would lose it again. So we developed a repetition scheme. And so, based on the lessons you've done in the platform, it starts repeating that knowledge that you should have acquired, but unfortunately are forgetting. And it's a personalized repetition scheme. And currently we know from brain insights into the brain, how the brain works, that it only works when it's personalized. So we start to repeat exactly those topics that you are forgetting, and that could be completely different from your neighbor, from your colleagues in participants, because they have different background, different how do you say this, reference to put their knowledge on. And you can put in a target goal, so for example exam date, or you can put in a knowledge maintenance goal. So I want to keep this knowledge attained, and I want to put it into my long-term memory. The nice thing is our mission is to really help people with their learning, and so we get fan mail, so we're on the right track, I think. People are mailing us and thanking us for helping us pass their exam based on this memo training. The other thing we're doing currently is the personalized learning path, and we kind of call this a digital personal trainer. And where the memo training is more about retention, the personal training path is about filling your training needs, your personal training needs. We use the metaphor of the navigation software. In our view, the current learning technology, e-learning, is more like a traditional map. And with navigation software, it's different. You put in your goal, where you want to go, and the platform will guide you. It doesn't mean that you can only go that way. No, if you encounter an obstacle, for example, if I encounter an obstacle, the navigating software will help me go around it. So how does this work? If you build a course, we assume you do that from defining the learning goals of that course, the objectives, and you can put in a goal profile. So you could say, for this group of learners, I think they should work towards this goal, which means this objective to this level and that objective to that level. And then when you design activities within that course, so that can also be classroom activities or online activities, you target these activities, you tag them also with the objectives. So if I pass this activity, if I do this activity, I will score on a certain objective. And then when you combine the two, each learner will go through the course, will start scoring on the objectives, working towards his goal profile. But each learner will score differently. So then the platform can give each learner activities which you prepared, and accommodate his gaps. That way each of the learners will get a personalized learning path. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, a case. Because this is all theoretically, and we're doing this for a number of educators in the Netherlands. And one of the cases I like very much is for lung physicians. We're doing this with the VU Medical Center in Amsterdam, and they work together with a hospital in London, St. Thomas Hospital in London. And the case is about PET scan technology, PET CT scan technology for lung physicians. You have to know that this is new technology, and most of these doctors haven't learned this at the school. So they come across it in their practice, and they probably have extra courses to get them up to speed. But there was no level within the lung physicians group in the Netherlands. So there was still a very heterogeneous group. And the VU Medical Center said, well, we have to standardize this. There has to be a basic level of knowledge of PET CT scan. And this has to be practical knowledge. So what we did, and you have to know these doctors, they are busy, and they don't want to be bothered with things they already know. And they're a heterogeneous group, and they have probably as much knowledge as they had encountered patients. So they all encountered different patients, so they have different knowledge. So those are all elements which really are a good ground field for adaptive technology to help them. What we did is we took a bundle of patients, actually about 100. We anonymized them, and we transformed this real patient data. Sorry. We put that in, we amended that into multimedia questionnaires, and we asked these professors, can you, with each patient, can you tag, can you describe what you can learn from this patient, in what stage of the process of assessing a patient, and to make it really close to their real workplace, we used a medical viewer, a real medical viewer online. So they would go go home, and they would on the internet find a similar workplace that they would have in the hospital, and we had the real medical images attached to those files, to those digital teaching files, we call them. So because we built a bundle of them, and they were all tagged with different objectives, and we defined the goal profile. And the goal profile for the lung physicians was different from the goal profile for the students, because we also had this course developed for students. And a lung physician would start assessing these patients, like he would do in his work on the workplace. And he would go through the multimedia questionnaire and would score, and we would know where his gaps would be, and we would present him with a new patient and would measure him again. And each time he would show that he had learned something, we would then assess and check and give him a new patient. So in the end, the lung physicians who did this course, they would all get different patients, but they were all focusing on their needs, and they were all patients that they could learn from. Funny thing was that the complaints we got back was that they, well, it was kind of difficult for them because they all got patients which were quite new to them. So we amended the algorithms a little bit. So we also enforced, reassured them in their learning. So we now have a mixture, but it's going towards their gaps, but there's a mixture, so they all also get patients they are comfortable with because they already mastered it. Yeah, exactly. The question is not just the gaps, because that's kind of demotivating. Yeah. Within the Nemo training, we already were doing that, but we forgot to do that in the learning path algorithms. So we learned from that. So this is actually the first results are coming in, and it's working. It's more efficient, engaging, and for me, the most important thing is that these doctors are not complaining about having to go to a site and learn, which I'm sure would have happened if we would put them all into one size fits all training. The technology behind this is general, so you can put in all kinds of course materials. We will work together with them closely because we are learning from them too. But nowadays, training providers are just using this themselves. For instance, in the financial industry, with the big banks in Holland, but also for more hobby kind of trainings like boating, your boating license. So we were working on this personalization of e-learning, and we're not the only one. Seeing this as one of the paths for the future. Are you familiar with Sir Ken Robinson? No? It's probably a European thing, I think. Yeah. Well, you check him out. He's a really enthusiastic and visionary guy. Well, yeah. And he was saying that the next revolution in learning will be personalization. And he was calling upon technology companies like ourselves to start working with that. So I would like to pass that on. Let's personalize learning. We put the E into brackets because we don't like e-learning actually. Nobody likes e-learning. It's about learning. Yeah. So how was that? Is it something relevant to you? Okay. The question is whether we provide the content. Well, what we do is we're only developing the technology. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, actually, it's a self-service, so you can. We want to make. We really believe in this technology, so we want to make it really low entry, so everybody can start using this, and it doesn't take too much effort, too much investment. So the platform now is available. You can use it. Will help you. But it's there to for you to build courses with. You can build, yeah, you can build and design them. So you can even use your course material you already have in, for example, in the SCORM format. It's software as a service. Yeah, SaaS. Yeah, and you can put in the SCORM modules, and you can tag them with the objectives. And this whole adaptive thing will work on your current not so smart SCORM modules. Yeah. I have a little bit of trouble with the word, with the term LMS, and yeah, because it's for me that comes from HR more than it comes from training. So we are building a platform specifically for training providers. So for people who are building trainings, and then you need more than just delivery. You need creation. You want to add more functionality like communication, maybe some gamification. It's kind of an LMS, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit too much work to really build the course for just you. Yeah, yeah. So typically, training providers who will have a standardized course, they will use the platform and they will build their course and still standardized product, mass customization, but they will roll it out, and because of the algorithms, it will adapt to each individual learner. So you have a personalized product, but you still develop, yeah, one training. Yeah, yeah. Actually, we're working with Erasmus Academy currently. The HOVO also, they are using the platform. Not in an adaptive way. They're more using the social learning side of the platform. It is new, but yeah, I think this is going to be more common. So there's in education there are some platforms already working with adaptivity, but for training providers it's really new, and yeah, well, I think there's a future for this. Thank you. Okay.